What's up, Bitterbirds Nation? Gaffner here. Want to talk a little Phillies. Alright? This is a team that's been a little under the radar. Something we really didn't expect from this team coming in. We thought possibly they'd be fighting for a wild card. Leaps and bounds have they jumped. And I don't think anybody saw this coming. Leading the NL East by a game and a half over those scorching hot Atlanta Braves. They complete the sweep of the Marlins, of the Miami Marlins. Team that we kind of struggle with, always have. I have to give it to them. They are a scrappy team, not much talent. As you know, they traded their all-star outfield in the offseason. Stanton to New York, Yelich to Milwaukee, and then Ozuna to the Cardinals. But, they've got a lot of young pieces. JT Realmuto, Brian Anderson's a nice piece, but the Phillies are just clicking on all cylinders, guys. We're doing it with the long ball, and we're doing it with walks. Phillies lead the majors after the All-Star break with the most home runs. I believe it's like 31. It's been unbelievable. We've been getting outstanding play from every position. This is a whole team effort right here. Not one person really stands out. The pitching staff has been outstanding. The bullpen has been very solid. And the bats come alive when they're needed the most. We're grinding out games. Some games we're going to throw up crooked numbers like 8, and then others, like last night, it came down to the final inning to really get that going, and Cabrera he annihilated that ball into the second tier. Nice to see him doing some stuff since the trade. He's got 2 home runs. But, you got to give credit to Gabe Kapler and the staff for really what they've done with this young and up-and-coming team. And who's to say, 1980, 2008, well, it's 2018, guys. Is it a possibility that this team really makes a run and could possibly play for a World Series? You really never know. I don't think so, but crazier stuff has happened. I want to go with the whole numbers thing. And there's an 8, and it's 2018, baby, so let's get this going. But the way this team is able to really work out walks, they're not they're not being overly aggressive with the first pitch strikes. They're working out counts. Unfortunately, Aaron Nola didn't get the win yesterday. It was a no decision because all those runners were his responsibility when they tied it up. Interesting enough, though, Gabe took out Nola, when he gave up those hits. He started getting banged around a little bit. It was a scorcher yesterday. But he brought in Sir Anthony Dominguez in the 7th. And Tommy Hunter was able to close it out and get the save. So it goes into the analytics part of him not having a permanent closer. That's where the sabermetric comes in. You don't have a permanent guy that's going to come in here and close out every game like Sir Anthony has. He's mixing it up a bit. But the growth from Maikel Franco, we've been waiting for this for a long, long time with this guy. And it looks like he's really finally figured it out, and I would like to give credit to the hitting coach as well for the Phillies. But in years past, he was overly aggressive. He chased balls outside of the zone, particularly on the outside of the plate, on the opposite side near the left-handed hitter's hip. But he's not trying to whack the ball every single time and crush it to get into the seats. He's choking up on the bat when he's behind in the count, and he's just putting a nice, easy swing on it. And he's benefited so much from that. He's putting the ball in play, and he's got, 19 home runs now. His batting average is about close to 280. His on-base percentage is really high. I think it's close to 400. So I've been very impressed with Maikel. And his defense, I'm gushing over this cat. I was at the game on Friday, and when he was able to make that unbelievable play and throw that guy out from his ass, it just shows you how strong his arm really is. And he made a really nice play yesterday, too, when the ball was tearing over and going past the third base line, and he was able to corral it, backhand it, and just freaking throw some cheese on that baby, and was able to get the runner out. So high praise to Maikel. I think he's been unbelievable. Nick Williams, my favorite player on the Phillies. I think he's been outstanding. Just, every day. He needs to play every day. And his growth has shown that as well. And you're just seeing these guys grow before our eyes. Hoskins, we know what he's done. He's unbelievable. He hit that cold slump earlier in the year, but he's been one of the hottest hitters on this team. Santana, too. And don't forget, we still have Wilson Ramos that's going to be coming off the injured reserve soon from behind the plate, and then you're going to add some more pop to this team. So everything's really coming together. I think Gabe has managed an outstanding team this year. He's just been outstanding, and I think he should be in the running for Manager of the Year, in my opinion, for what he's done. And we still have Eichhoff, who's been pitching down in single A, trying to get him back. He's rehabbing down there. So that just adds some more versatility to this pitching staff, this young pitching staff. He would add veteran leadership. Pivetta struggles, but he's a strikeout pitcher. If he can just really get it together and get his control underway, it's just a scary staff. With Nola, Arrieta's been pitching a lot better. I was hoping, because that game in Boston and then yesterday's game, Nola should have had at least 14 wins. If you guys remember at the beginning of the year, I predicted he'd get 20 wins and be in a fight for Cy Young. I still think that's true. Getting close, so I don't know if he will be able to get 20 wins at this point, but I think he's been unbelievable. He got his first nod for the All-Star game. But what have you guys been most impressed with? We still got young pitchers down in the minors. You know, Enyel, De Los Santos, when roster gets expanded. And I like the move with Gabe bringing in Roman Quinn. He adds so much more speed out there in the outfield. Especially if you're up, you're able to take Rhys Hoskins out. And, yeah, you lose some pop, but Roman Quinn can really put the bat on the ball. He's very quick. He made that great play when it was he almost collided with Abdubel. But Rhys wouldn't have been able to get that play on Friday, if you guys remember. It almost caromed and hit off the wall, but he was able to get there and dive, make a diving play out of it. But he's a guy that even if he hits a little dribbler, he has the speed to get onto first base. So he's a nice little addition to this bench. But when rosters expand, who else are you going to bring up here? JP, we haven't seen anything out of all year, but I don't think you would bring him up. Even though he's starting to hit down there in Clearwater, it's going to take some time for him to get back, and it might mess up the flow. Kingery is still struggling. I think they should really put him down in AAA and get him some more playing time down there. I've been most impressed with Rick Kranitz. Yeah, Kranny's done a really good job with this pitching staff. You know, they're young. The veteran leadership of Arrieta to be able to help these guys. I think Gabe picks the perfect situations with the pitching staff and when to take guys out. Now, he's getting a better feel for it. He's learning, as he's done all year. If you remember at the beginning of the year, there was that fiasco where he didn't have everybody in the pen ready and there was a penalty. And then also taking Aaron Nola out in the first game when he only pitched like 65 pitches or what have you. But this team has been so impressive. Baseball is exciting again. We're a year ahead of schedule, but we really need Atlanta to start losing. So we're going out west to play a really good team in the Diamondbacks. It's just a collective effort, and it reminds me a lot of what happened during the 2008 season when it wasn't just one guy standing out. It was a collective group of guys who were young, really starting to learn how to play with each other. I'm not saying they are the 2008 team. There was a lot more pop on that team and a lot of star power on that team. That identity hasn't been put on the 2018 Phillies yet. We don't have that superstar yet. Could we have one in the making with Rhys Hoskins? Absolutely. But, you know, that's why we have the offseason to make plays. We possibly make a run at Manny Machado, up Bryce Harper. We still need bullpen help, I think. I'd like to add to the bullpen with that depth and get possibly another starting pitcher. But it is coming together. It's exciting. Football is not too far off either, guys. Thursday, first preseason game for the Birds against Steelers. But has anybody been disappointed with what happened? Is anybody thought that we are ahead of schedule, that we could really make a run in the playoffs? You upset with Gabe or anything the staff has done and or not done? Let me know. But Wilson, I know they said he's ahead of schedule, and will we option our Knapp? I think Knapp is going to be sent down. If you look at the hitters down there, we've got a really hot hitter at Reading, Pujols, that is really, really showing a lot of promise. So could he be added to the September roster? You loving Lord Kapler, Sean? Yeah. I mean, this is what you want our team to do, is sweep a team like the Fish. They're not that good. They're scrappy, so they're going to do anything they can to win. They want to upset good teams like the Phillies, the Braves, Nationals, because they really don't have a lot of star power. They're in that rebuilding mode. They gave one of the top 3 players in the MLB in Stanton and didn't get a big return for him. So what they've done and collectively battled it out with the Phillies, you gotta give them credit, but you should put your foot on their throats and execute them like this. You should knock them right out and sweep them. We did, and we got to continue to beat up on teams like them, Cincinnati, these scrappy teams that we should just be, 3-0, 4-0. We should beat them out. But don't go west and get swept. The road is very hard, as you know. It's hard to win on the road, especially when you go out west, and you're going into a very friendly hitter's ballpark out there in Arizona. So hopefully the bats don't get cold. This is where it should benefit our team to be able to put the ball in play. I was disappointed with yesterday. No bat flip, but it was... Yeah, he crushed it, Randy. That was great to see. I mean, he annihilated it. It was so hot yesterday, but it was a perfect pitch. It was a hanger, and he just crushed it. Perfect bat placement on that. And we needed it to break the tie and then come out and get that win. And I know that a lot of the fans were happy there because they were melting in those seats. It was pretty hot when I went to the game on Friday, but it was a night game, so you don't have the sun beating on you. With the humidity, it's all sticky. This whole series, it's just been ungodly hot. Like, we finally are getting that summer August weather, which sucks. You melt at the ballpark. You don't want it to go into extras. It's slower. But I like how the Phillies play. Still want to know how Cousins gets promoted. I'm not sure. I think he's just another addition for a guy that's going to be able to come in here off the bench that has the potential to hit a home run, Sean. With the sabermetrics, they're all about power hitting. Guys will be able to put the ball in the seats, and we do it the best. We work out walks, and we hit home runs. I would like for us to really steal a little bit more, play small ball even. I think it's more exciting to get extra base hits than always home runs. Yeah, home runs is one of the best things to see in baseball, but I like to see a lot of hits, small ball where you can steal the base, stuff like that. It keeps you more in tune. It's more exciting, in my opinion. So a lot of times we're getting home runs where it's just solo home runs, and it's a little mundane, a little boring a little bit. So I'd like to see a lot more extra base hits. I know that's not part of the sabermetrics way, but let's get some steals going. I miss those days when you could do double steals and no doubles defense was played and all. Watch Cousins go hit homer at the playoffs. He seems like the kind of player is an Adam Dunn homers. He's a strikeout king. I'm not a big fan of Dylan Cousins. I don't like him at all, but he does have the potential. He's huge. He's 6'6", about 270. He has the potential to put the ball in the seats, and that's why he's on this roster right now. We have a very weak bench, so it shows you that that's the reason he has been promoted. He's like in between a guy that's really going to play well in AAA and he can't really flourish in the MLB. I don't think he'll ever be a starter. He'd be best in the American League as possibly a DH where he can just go out there and hit. When Davey Lopes left running. Yeah, you're right, Sean. It went way down after Davey went to LA. But that's why he's on this roster. We have a very weak bench. That's the only reason he's on here, because he can put the ball in the seats. But I'd like to really get rid of him. He's struggled in AAA. He should still be down there trying to work on his game, but he strikes out more than he hits home runs. I think he's only got 16 home runs on the season down with the Pigs when he was down there. But 2 years ago, we should have traded him when him and Hoskins were going off. That's when his value was its highest, and I don't think we'd get much more for him now. But we've only got 3 outfield positions, and it looks like 2 of them are at least set in right and center. Hoskins, I don't know if they will keep him there ever, if he does move back to first after Santana is gone. But, he's holding his own out there. He's gotten a lot better. He still worries me because his range isn't there with his speed. So when you switch him out with Roman Quinn, it doesn't make your heart drop all too much. We will ever find a matchup lefty reliever. Yeah, Loop looked horrible when I was at the game the other day. He couldn't throw a strike even in warm-ups. So I think that's why we still need to add some more depth in the bullpen. Nishak, too, isn't always reliable because he's injury prone. Just because I think of the way his arm angle goes and his release. So that really takes a toll on your shoulder and your elbow. So you got to add more depth. You can never have enough pitching, ever. But, you know, we got a very deep farm. We got that hot hitter in Pujols down in Double-A. You got Sixto Sanchez, Ranger Suarez. You know, guys like that down in the minors. Cole Irving, that is killing it. Eniel De Los Santos, need to get Ebrard Ramos back. Yeah, we optioned him, so he's gone. The Phillies felt that they had too many guys that threw fastball and sinker combo, so they wanted to get a little bit more versatile, and they optioned him to try to bring somebody in that throws a little bit more than just fastball slider. All right, guys, I got to get back to work. Just want to do this quick video. We are playing out in Arizona tonight, so let's get this win. Let's continue to play the way we have been, but I'd like to see a little bit more base stealing and more extra base hits. A little less of the home runs, but if you're going to have home runs, have people on base, the solos. Because I want us to go up there and throw cooking numbers up left and right, like the '08 Phillies, baby. You never really had to worry. It wasn't the sexiest pitching staff, but the offense was just so incredible. You didn't have to have all-star pitchers out there. I think the staff that we have now has the potential to be better than that '08 team, but the offense just isn't there. I think that was the best offensive Phillies team to ever be assembled. That '08 team was just unbelievable. You look at the home run numbers that team put up, and the star power. What do you feel like we're going to do in the offseason? Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Manny Machado, or would you rather have Bryce Harper? Because if you look at the outfields, it's crowded, but none of those guys are even on the same level as Bryce Harper. And then if you do bring in Manny Machado, what are you going to do with Crawford? Because you're not going to stick him over at third because of how well Franco is playing. He's finally figured it out with the bat. And defensively, he's gotten way better. But it kind of puts you between a rock and a hard place. You can't really judge off what JP has done because he's barely been in the majors. He hasn't had time. So you obviously bring in Manny Machado, he's going to play shortstop. He ain't going to kick JP over to third. Do they trade him? It's going to be a very interesting and a big decision for Clentak to make during the offseason. But we will see what happens. All right, guys. Phillies 63-48. This team is on fire. And the Birds, baby. Birds in a preseason. Thursday night. We're almost there. Can't wait. KG on BB. Leave your comments in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.